Downtown on 5th Street, it's the Thursday edition of the Press Box on Sports Radio 1450. In the Press Box this hour, it's Kevin O'Day and Steve Bridge. We go back downtown to Sammy's Sports Bar and Grill for Hour 2 of the Press Box on Sports Radio 1450.
And welcome back to it here, folks. We are live from Sammy's Sports Bar and Grill, as always, from Sammy's on a Thursday. Steve Bridge here, Eric Pedigo sitting in for the big guy. Kevin O'Day is off this afternoon, but we are here at Sammy's. Come on down, because you still got a couple hours. You still get 2 hours to take advantage of the half-price appetizer specials Monday through Friday. The mushrooms, the onion tanglers, the brat bites, the Bosco sticks. I was just getting 2 for the price of 1 instead of 1 for the price of half. Also, $10 buckets of domestic beers as well. We are on 5th in between Monroe and Adams. You better get down here now, too, people, if you want to even think about having a spot to sit for the afternoon lineup or for the early evening and late night lineup of college basketball here, because right now most tables are full, and they people look dug in, entrenched, I think the word would be, Eric. They don't look like they're going anywhere.
No, and I don't blame them. I mean, all these TVs, man, this has got to be the best place in town to come in and watch sports if you're a sports person. And the food is really incredible. So, yeah, these people are smart. They're not going anywhere.
Come on down, and, right now you don't have to put up with Dave Benton and that lady on your TV on Channel 3, because they have the NCAA package, so they still have games that are going on TV right now, so you don't have to put up with the Channel 3 news if you don't want to watch. I mean, I don't know against Dave Benton and that other lady, whatever her name is. I used to know her name. I don't anymore. But they'll take care of you, because we still got NCAA basketball on right now. And let's see here. We are going to talk a little bit about the Illinois and Western Kentucky matchup again. A caller wanted to talk about that coming up before the break last. I also got a couple of baseball notes to give you. We did mention that Chris Perez is going to play a little long toss on Friday for the Cardinals. Doesn't really look like Perez is going to be the Cardinals' closer anytime soon, but it would be good news for the Cardinals' depth in that bullpen if they need it, and also a potential to bring him on later in the season. And for any Cardinal pitcher at this point in time, you'll want to make sure that your pitchers are healthy. And it does look like Chris Carpenter is staying healthy for the Cubs. In fact, in the Chicago Tribune online, Phil Rogers writes that Carpenter providing clouds on Cub horizon, so they're all of a sudden hearing the pitter-pat of little feet behind them in Cubby land, because Chris Carpenter has thrown so well in his last start. In fact, 6-inning start last night, and I don't know, he threw something like 65 or 68 pitches in the start last night, scoreless, a lot of ground ball outs, about 38 or 40 strikes for Marshall in last night's outing. So he has really turned things around, and if he's healthy for the Cardinals, it is only good things for them and, tougher things for the National League Central. But the Cubs are also closing in on some big roster decisions. It does look like Lou Piniella will name Sean Marshall the 5th starter, it seems. Marshall has had a fantastic spring, an ERA of under .7 so far, so he hasn't done anything to hurt himself. The one guy who has pretty much ruined his chances of being a starter so far has been Jeff Samardzija. He probably was maybe kind of not really ever involved in that 5th starter spot, but he has compiled a 9.9 ERA and a 3.41 batting average against in 4 outings. So Samardzija right now still might be working to try to keep himself with a big league club when they break to go back to Chicago in April. The move with giving Sean Marshall that 5th starter spot slides Aaron Heilman back. That's probably good news for the Cubs in the bullpen, a spot I think they're going to be a little bit weak in this year. Heilman will now be the 7th inning guy, and then they'll be able to get them back in the mix with Kevin Gregg and Carlos Marmol. Neil Cott's also going to be in there as well as part of the bullpen. And a couple other guys. There's a Rule 5 pick. He's got to stay with the Cubs. The Cubs don't want to give him back up. David Patton, who's had a really nice spring, a 1.35 ERA, and a left-hander, Jason Waddle, a non-roster invitee. There's always a non-roster invitee in spring training, and it seems to hang around with a team or two during the season. It turns out to be really good. Maybe the Cubs will get one this year. Waddle has a 1.13 ERA, and with the last name of Waddle, it always seems to work well in Chicago. Tom Waddle was a hell of a football player for the Bears, so maybe the Cubs are going to have their own Jason Waddle, and he is probably going to be he's fighting for one of those last spots in the bullpen for the Cubs. Chad Gaudin will also be probably an uncertain spot at this point in time. Not really quite sure where he's going to be moved into that bullpen, but he could be there as well. Eric, caller before the top of the hour. We wanted to think a little bit about Western Kentucky and Illinois. We'll take your calls too, 529-1450 if you want to make them here on the press box this afternoon. Oh, and one other thing. Got a check-in from Las Vegas just during the top of the hour news update, and our anonymous source out there says absolutely no recession going on in Las Vegas. The sports books are absolutely bonkers, sold out. So they got a front row seat to all the big screens out there in Las Vegas. They've been bunkered in for the better part of the day. They've just taken their break, getting back down from their rooms to head back down to the sports book and watch the afternoon and evening sets of college basketball to be played here on this first day of the NCAA basketball tournament. So it continues to be a huge day. It's a big day out in Vegas. Long lines of betting, some lines stretching an hour long to place bets on this first day of the tournament.
Yeah, recession, nothing.
Yeah, recession, nothing in Vegas when it comes to the NCAA tournament. But Western Kentucky